Hey guys, I'm going to talk today about how to make a real connection with your higher self. So first of all, why would you want to do that? So a lot of reasons for guidance, inspiration, wisdom, answers to questions. The reason why we want to tune into our higher self is because if we're just leaning on our own logic and reason, we may not get very clear answers. We may not get very good advice just reflecting on things in our conscious mind, or sometimes even subconscious mind, although the subconscious mind is the gateway to our higher self. What do I mean by that? So when we go into meditation, when we go into trance or hypnosis, all we're really doing is slowing our mind down from beta brainwave states down to either alpha or theta. And when we do that, we start to tune in to first our subconscious mind. And by opening that doorway, it opens like a portal or a doorway to the other dimensions, our spirit self, our soul self, our higher self. So now we are very complex, multidimensional beings. We not only have a physical body, conscious mind, subconscious mind, we do have a superconscious mind, and it kind of keeps going and going and going into all kinds of other dimensions and planes of existence, until we finally get up to what we would call our I am self, and our Christ self. So the reason why it's so important to be able to tune into that part of ourself is that's the part of ourself that lies outside of all limitation, lies outside of this matrix reality with all of the collective unconscious limiting beliefs, all the memories and history of pain and suffering and scarcity, and not only our personal memories, not only our family's memories, past lives, etc., but everything that's affecting us from all angles. We're kind of like in this murky soup of thought energy and emotional energy, and it can be really difficult to know what's for our true highest good when we're looking around here for the answers when we really need to be looking somewhere else. So we're in this kind of murky soup of collective unconscious thoughts and energies. And it's almost, it's like a really heavy blanket on top of our consciousness. So by going within and really getting in a nice trance state and setting our intention to connect with that wiser part of ourselves that lies outside of all of this duality thinking, right, wrong, good, bad, karma is just a belief, sin is just a belief. We can't really wrap our head around that, but the further and further we go, we start to really experience the reality and truth of that. So by connecting to that Christ self, or the part of us that resides in Christ consciousness, that's in that plane of existence, there's only perfection, there's only peace, there's only love, there's only truth, real truth, not relative truth, which is what we've been surrounded by. So when we're able to make that connection, we're able to channel all the wisdom we need, the inspiration, the guidance, and be really clear about what's best for us. Because a lot of times when we're just leaning on our emotions can be very clouded by past experiences and traumas and things like that. We might be listening to our fear, but the fear is not because this is a bad situation necessarily, could be, but the fear could just be our reaction, our triggers, our anchors to things that have happened to us in the past. Whereas our inner guidance might be saying this isn't good for you, but it's not just triggers and anchored fears in the past, it's actually saying, no, this isn't what's really good for you, and being able to make that distinction, obviously very, very important, because just limiting fears are just going to keep us from achieving all of our dreams and goals, whereas inner guidance is telling you this isn't a good idea, is keeping us from something that's going to cause us pain, suffering, and not good for us. So how do we do this? We go within, set your intention to connect to your higher self, and then just tune in and ask your higher self to give you a signal or a sign that you're connected, that they're with you. This may be like a warm sensation in a certain part of your body, a tingling, a pressure. It could be an involuntary kinesthetic movement, like a swaying, or even like get around in a circle, or some people like move their finger or something like that. It'll be unique to you, between you and your higher self. And this becomes a really great guidance system because it's a really quick way to check if you're, hearing somebody talk, speak, channel, give their opinions of what's right and true, and your signal is, you can't get your signal. It's like your higher self is saying, no, you're not in the presence of truth. Whereas if you get your signal, your higher self's like, yes, this is true. This is what's good and right for you to listen to. So it's a great inner guidance system. And in the class that I teach, I also teach you some safeguards, how to clear anything that could be interfering with your signal, and to make really sure that you've got, that your signal is from your Christ self, from that Christ level of consciousness. We do this in a group setting to confirm that. And then after you get that signal, ask for a name, because even though it's a part of you, it's so far removed from the 3D physical you, it's almost like it feels like it's a different person. It's kind of like your 2-year-old self is different than your current self. It's the same person, but you're not really the same person. So, your Christ self is you, but your level of awareness and consciousness is so vastly different that it's almost as if it's another person. So ask for that name, and then you can really develop a relationship with your inner self. And that becomes the inner marriage, which creates, so much beauty, joy, harmony, peace, comfort. You're never alone. You never have to feel alone, because you always have this inner relationship in a tangible way that they let you know that I'm here with you, and you can feel their presence. So, ever wondered how you're going to get self-love? Get it from your higher self, not your ego 3D self. It's impossible to just love yourself from that level. Allow yourself to channel that love from your higher self, because it has a never-ending supply, and it's not needy, and it doesn't want anything back from you in return. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to be doing a guided meditation in another video to really guide you through those steps of making that connection. And the more you practice that, you will certainly hear back from your higher self, your Christ self, because if you're reaching out to them, they're only more than happy to reach back and make that connection. They've just been waiting for you all this time. So, love you all. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.